All right, welcome back. Good morning. It's time for, it's actually 3 minutes past 7 a.m. A quick update on your time. Welcome to the program on this beautiful day of 11th day, yes, of March 2025. This is Good Morning Kenya. It's now time for us to take a look at what's happening in the political segment. And today being the Tuesday, you know, it's people and politics. So, as usual, our lines will be on, so you can talk to us. It's a 0716 10 3301. Lines will be on, and we'll be receiving your calls later on in the program. So get ready. 0716 10 3301. 0716 10 3301. And my guests are already in studio. I have Professor Fred Ogola, who is the convener J25 movement. Prof, good morning.
Morning, my brother.
It's been a while.
Yes.
You're great.
I'm doing very well.
Good to see you.
Yes.
I see you have a book with you.
Yeah, this book is called Solomonic Economics.
Okay.
Solomonic Economics is the economic theory that's what Kenya wants. And in this Solomonic economics theory, we have developed a model that should sort out these economic problems. And I'm sure when you get time, we can discuss more in details.
Good to see that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
Yes.
And Mheshimiwa Peter Orero is here. Mheshimiwa, good morning.
Morning to you.
The last time you were here, you were in a different group. We are here again, you're in a different group. Life is interesting. How does it feel being in that corner? It's warm.
I don't know which group we are talking about. When I was there, I think I was a member of ODM political party.
Yes.
Which I'm still a member of ODM political party. Representing the good people of Kibra.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, I see what you've done there, but it's fine. It's fine. I'll get into that discussion pretty well. Welcome to the program. How about we take a look at the front page of the local dailies? Before that, we're still waiting for Mboko Milemba, who is also the parliamentarian or representing Emuhaya constituency. He'll be here shortly. All right, but nonetheless, the show has to go on. So on the front page of the Daily Nation, civil servants reject SHA deal. That is what is here on the front page of the local daily. Civil servants reject SHA deal. The workers say the workers enjoyed comprehensive medical cover under the now defunct NHIF, but it seems that they have rejected the SHA deal. It says that civil servants have warned of a strike beginning March 18th if the government fails to address their grievances on the new medical scheme run by the Social Health Authority, that is SHA, saying that they are being forced to fundraise to meet their medical needs because the state-run scheme is not working. That's a discussion that has been there for quite some time. Unity test, Raila men skip route tour of Nairobi. Was it? I'm yet to find out. The three gentlemen on the front page, one, Senator, that is of Nairobi, Edwin Sifuna, Embakasi East MP Babu Weno, and Westlands MP Timothy Wanyonyi. Those are the three gentlemen who are profiled on the front page of the Daily Nation. The president was on a working tour where he launched and actually supervised and oversaw actually different projects within the county. I can see Governor Sakaja there, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki, and of course the president. This must have been during the Dishi. That's a project launched by the county government.
Yes, at Zawadi.
You were part of this entourage yesterday.
Yes, I was.
A quick update, as our reporter 001, what happened on the ground?
I have not reported 001.
Right.
But what I say is that the members of parliament in Nairobi, especially aligned to the Orange Democratic Party, the Jubilee, also member of parliament, and those who are members inclined to the memorandum that was signed between the ODM and the UDA, accompanied the president during his development tour within the Nairobi region. And this tour was in Kamkunji. He was to launch this project, the affordable houses along the reclamation of the river, the Nairobi River, the cleaning of the Nairobi River at Kamkunji grounds. But I think it took its time also to see some of the projects that are going on within the Kamkunji constituency. One of them is the TVET, the TVET which currently has about 600 students and has equipments from G2G cooperation from China, had good equipments that have been brought in there. Also at Zawadi, where we have the Dishi for kids, the governor of Nairobi, I think partners with other private public-private partnership that is looking at the Dishi in Nairobi. He was at Zawadi also. And also the housing at Shauri Moyo, the affordable houses at Shauri Moyo. He also went to check the progress of those housing, affordable housing. I think that took part of almost the whole day, and we accompanied him to see what was happening. Yes. Okay.
Very well. Discussion on that shortly. On the Standard, magnificent duo. The two ladies on the front line, magnificent duo. I have them here at a time when independent institutions are weakened and Parliament appears increasingly aligned to the executive. Auditor General Nancy Gathongo and Controller of Budget Margaret Nyakango have remained unwavering public watchdogs, championing accountability in the use of public resources. Despite intense scrutiny and accusations of corruption from MPs, they remain steadfast in their commitment to serving the country. The two ladies who are, causing a lot of jitters, so to speak, making many people uncomfortable. Prof, once it comes to economy, these two ladies stand out on the front page. How does it reflect with what this called Solomonic
economics?
Solomonic economics.
Yeah, first of all,
can you relate these two ladies in any part of your book?
Yes, actually, last week we were in Mombasa for our conference, which is Association of Women Accountants of Kenya. And these women are members of Association of Women Accountants of Kenya. And actually, we are there with Senator Nyonka, and there's a proposal actually to give them some kind of a reward from some kind of members of Parliament and Senate for the unwavering work they have done. I remember that if you look at this world, the value of women into changing this country is much bigger than men. Because you can hear the MP of Kibra already aligned to a government, which they know very well is the opposite of what Kenyans want. Solomonic economics believes that for you to be able to give Kenyans a welfare state, even I relate to the some front page for the Nation, which was there, about Shah, that we must be able to have a lean and clean government. Lean and clean, not a broad-based government, because a broad-based government increases the cost of running government. When the government expenditure is this high, whereby out of the 4.3 trillion budget we are having this year, only 700 billion is going into budget development. And the rest of them, they are eating it up. So if you look at everything this government is doing, it's just increasing cost of running government. Those tours, they're not necessary. When somebody's launching how to feed the county, why should the president be there? And the cost of taking a president even by 1 meter, when the president moves by 1 kilometer, you spend almost 200,000, just 1 kilometer. Look at the vehicles he uses, just look. And when he moves with all these people together. How can a whole country meet to launch how to feed 20,000 people? All these ministers, all these MPs, all these MCAs, the president, the office of the president, vice president, deputy president, going to launch how to feed 5,000 people, which is costing us around 10 million to put a budget of 200,000. I mean, for me, it's completely crazy. So Solomonic economics is very clear on lean and clean government, because this government has only two problems, only two. It is grossly corrupt and grossly incompetent. If you remove those things, Solomonic economics talks about the brightest, the best and brightest of people running this country. Now, you look from the county government, isn't it, to all different government, even national government. Are we having the brightest and the best? And the best and brightest here is these ladies. Brightest in the sense that they know what accountability is all about, integrity, they know about it, so they can be able to tease out from the government revenue expenditure, realize there's something wrong. So they're the brightest. Best means in the spectrum of all adversaries where members of parliament have been bought. For example, when you saw that deal being signed in KICC, 2 people signed it, here they support it. 2 people signed, the president and Raila Odinga, isn't it? They own parliament, isn't it? Therefore, all parliament will escort them where they are going. Even if they are taking us to hell, they'll escort. These ladies stand out and give audit reports that instead of this member of parliament escorting the president in all these things, they should sit in parliament to look at these audit reports and call the president to order. But they can't do it. So we only have 2 people. That's why they are there outstanding. Only 2 outstanding ladies. There's no gentleman there. And then they'll be called iron women. They'll be given some funny names. Yet we have men who are not iron at all. Some of them are just clay.
Oh.
Yes, so we have clay members of parliament, but we have iron women telling them the report they need to handle.
You can put it in a better way.
No, let me tell you, my brother.
You can put it in a better way.
Do you know why organizations fall? When an iron clay is on top of an iron metal is sitting on clay. So they are given reports. These audit reports should go to parliament. Look at the constitution. They should be debated. Since these ladies started to bring these audit reports, have you had parliament thoroughly interrogating those issues? This parliament, even the ladies revealed this last week, this parliament, before the constitution 2010, they used to be having a budget of around 5 billion, isn't it? Now the parliament runs on 36 billion shillings a year, isn't it? Now, we're asking ourselves, where are they going with these kind of things? Okay. The parliament can do this thing right. So Solomonic economics is very clear that we have a lot of economic challenges that we have to address here. Budgeting, according to Solomonic economics, should be done from the grassroots level. It proposes, isn't it? But here, member of parliament go to parliament and allocate money for themselves, but leaves everybody else scraping for crumbs. So even as young people, we have said, we will never be part of implementing. Young people, yes. No, come on.
How long does it take you to be a prof? Although youngness is about
Victor,
the mind.
Victor,
you are young as your mind feels.
I am young because I'm young because I got my PhD when I was 28 and a half years, isn't it? I'm one of the youngest deputy vice chancellors in this country. I'm a deputy vice chancellor of Uzima University at this age, isn't it? Tell me how many people are there. So when I mean young, we have achieved so much within a short period of time, and these guys are trying to derail them. Okay. In fact, don't distract me. When I say as young people, we have said, we will not be allowed to be part of implementing what we didn't plan. We didn't plan that signing at KICC. We didn't plan an ADCO. And the cost of implementing that thing, they have not even calculated, and they are running around supporting it. If you ask this member of parliament here from Kibra, how much money will it cost to implement that signed deal there? He doesn't know. But he's already supporting it. And there should be oversight. So these ladies know the numbers. I, as an economist, I know the numbers. BBI was supposed to cost this country 361 billion shillings annually to implement, isn't it? They never said that. They were just supporting. They even supported it, isn't it? Now it failed. And Raila Odinga was given 13 billion shillings to popularize BBI, knowing very well it will fail. Now they're going to be given around 33 billion shillings to popularize NADCO. And they know Wananchi will reject it. But they don't care so long as they get that money to run around with it. And that is my pain.
Yes, a lot of accusations and fireworks coming on your side. 33 billion, 13 billion, 361 billion. You are not aware, you don't know what is there, you don't know what is done.
No, I think, you know, there are certain things that when you pronounce, you must have evidential background, because he's saying we are going to be given 33 billion, which to me, we are doing what is called BPS at the moment. Budget policy statement. I have never seen, I have not seen where this money has been put in our budget policy statement. And some of the pronouncements might be wild, and because we are shaping the perception of this country, I think we must come here with a certain evidential background where we place. I am, for the first time, hearing that Raila was given 13 billion. I am asking whether he was given as a person or as a political party or enhanced, because even in the audited report that we are talking about, this is my first time in Parliament, but the audited reports come to Parliament. The level of debate cannot arbitrarily be determined in this forum, because each member of Parliament has the opportunity to contribute on areas that he feels affect his people. As a political party or as a member of Parliament, we are there to represent our people. Even when the memorandum is signed,
yes,
it is signed on behalf of a political party. Political parties are formed to acquire power and attain power, irrespective of the route that they take, either as independent political party or as a coalition of political party. A political party is not a charitable organization. It is not an NGO that fights, continually fights for every day for the rights. But political parties are developed on ideologies, like we are social democrats. Now, this is what we pursue as a political party. And during the signing of that memorandum, we were not there just as individuals, but we are there as a, you know, when you build a political party, like
yes,
the mature democracies, we have conservative, we have Democrats. You must always pursue your agenda as a close party. Before that time, if you listened very carefully, the machinery organ, the Central Management Committee of our political party, had a meeting and resolutions that were read to us on how they determined and what they wanted to do as a political party. We are not saying we are in a multi-party democracy, but before that we were in a single-party democracy. Even in the single-party democracy, we had voices, like now he's saying is one of the youngest professors. We had voices the way he's talking now. Even during that time, we had serious voices that were talking against the government, even in a single-party regime. In a multi-party democracy, there is freedom of speech.
Yes.
And people are allowed to speak their mind the way my friend here. I am happy that he's from Uzima University. I have visited that Uzima University. I'm in education committee. And we have tried, even in education committee, some of their pending bills about the means testing instrument, that the students who are given scholarships in that, some have not been paid. And as a committee, I think we have tried to sort out that problem for the Uzima University, to make my vice chancellor to be comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
In the BPS, we have seen that we have some of that. So also, as members of Parliament, we look and take care of the people that we think we represent as Uzima University. But I must congratulate them on the work they are doing in the field of medicine, that it is a university that needs to be taken care of as a country. And I think that is where we should go. We are not saying that we are in these political parties for our own interests, but we represent people. We represent Kenyan people. So it does not mean that our voices will be muzzled.
Okay. Mheshimiwa, allow me, before I come to you, Prof, so after the MOU, what next? Because that's the biggest question many Kenyans are asking. What next? Because this is not something unique. We have been in this space for quite some time. We you know, the history will always tell us what happened during Moi, Kibaki, President Kenyatta, and now here we are. But when you look at that event at the KICC, these were two political parties, not coalitions. True or false?
True.
Where does it leave the coalitions?
You know, for you to make a coalition, you must also deposit your agreements with the political parties, whatever.
ORPP.
Yes. which did not happen. So that is why it is not a coalition. It is merely a memorandum that two political parties, maybe with similar ideologies in certain areas, maybe not all, in certain areas. One of those quoted there is they must strive to reduce the prices of commodities for Kenyans to alleviate the poverty in this country, that we were expressing our dissatisfaction for the Kenya Kwanza government when we were on the streets demanding that the Kenyan people must get the right share of their cake. The prices of commodities in these countries must go down. One of the other items that was listed that Kenyans are talking about at the moment is the mere abductions of people who are expressing their democratic right, either through demonstrations or through a logical presentation of their disaffection with the government. So one of the things that was in the memorandum is we must abhor and we must condemn the continuous abductions of people in this country. So what we are saying is that that memorandum really is not just to support the government, but to bring...
What is it all about?
It wants to, one, as a political party, we want to increase democratic space within
which Kenya enjoys.
Which Kenya enjoys.
Which Kenya enjoys.
Yes, it enjoys, but we still do not have. That's why we are saying we still have abductions. Why would we have abductions while Kenyans are free to participate freely in the democratic, their democratic rights?
Okay.
So I think, Victor, sorry that
yeah. Okay, let's give him a minute.
No, he's free to express himself.
First of all, if you want to increase democratic space as a political party like ODM, you cannot go to bed with the person decreasing the democratic space. You have to go with the like-minded. You see, if abduction is taking place, Kenya Kwanza has been overwhelmingly been accused of it. And they have not been able to explain why they are not the ones. So they could have gone to an MOU with a like-minded party to oppose who is decreasing. You cannot go to bed with the person decreasing democratic space saying you are going to increase democratic space. So for me, I don't think Mheshimiwa will agree with that entirety. I think for me, I want to ask Mheshimiwa too, for the sake of our audience, the question was asked clearly. If you are in Parliament, do you know how much was spent on BBI? Is there any audit report in Parliament? There is. And my figure comes from that. Even if you check, it was 13 billion given, and there was a secretariat in Kitusuru, isn't it? I can even give a report. Do you know why immediately William Ruto took over government? There was a struggling government printer in printing IDs and passports. It is that the secretariat for BBI printed BBI documents, and the printing cost, they never paid the government printer. I can say it was 210 million shillings in printing, which was pending. And the CEO of the government printer put those numbers out there. It's not my numbers. I'm an economist. We don't lie. In God, we trust. The rest bring data. And we act with data. It is there. Do you know how much was spent on BBI? If you don't know, then what are you doing in Parliament? Do you know how much was going to cost Kenyan money? In fact, Musalia Mudavadi is the one who gave the 361 billion. Now I'm quoting him. Go check. The records are there, Victor. I am not here to be told anything, but I want to thank Mheshimiwa for helping Uzima University, and I want to make a plea. As we said to Mheshimiwa, we have 1.5 billion pending bills on the training we did to healthcare professionals in Uzima University, which the government has not paid us. But not just Uzima. MKUs owed 3 billion shillings for the people who are supposed to be trained to go to work abroad. All those pending bills are affecting all government institutions. You saw the other time the Vice Chancellor of Catholic University made a statement in Mombasa, flanked by all Vice Chancellor in their retreat, and they gave a figure of the pending bills. So now, the hurry should not be rushing to talk about NADCO. These things are affecting Kenyans now. Mheshimiwa, you come from Kibra. if you can get ODM getting a budget, or ODM, whatever you guys are, running with this NADCO report about sensitization forums, given 36 billion shillings, and when you look at Kibra, when you just look at Kibra, what can 36 billion shillings do? When you call yourself a social democracy that ODM believes in should offer Kenyans a welfare state. A welfare state, kwa Kiswahili, ni taifa ya ustawi, meaning free healthcare, free education, and SHA is not working, isn't it? Civil servants should go on strike. You are rushing to sign a report. Do you need Raila Odinga and William Ruto to sign something in ICC to implement what the Constitution wants? Between that document in KICC and the Constitution of Kenya 2010 and the laws of Kenya passed in Parliament and policies of Kenya passed in all ministries, do you need to sign that document which has no legal implication? It is about willingness to implement what is there. And I want to tell Mheshimiwa, as a governance expert, we have 3 manuals to run a country. Kenya was never meant to run by guesswork. The fathers of this country came out with the first manual, which is the Constitution.
Okay.
Constitution is clear, even how to do budget, how to protect the rights of Kenyans, how to implement, everything is there. Secondly, we set up Parliament to pass laws. The laws they pass in Parliament is another manual. Even how to do everything, even how you should conduct yourself in public, it is there. Then the ministries develop policies that should be used, for example, in agriculture, in education, in internal security, foreign affairs. So why do you leave a manual to come out with another manual? So this is my phone, isn't it? It's a Samsung phone. Let me give you an example. When I bought this phone, I got a manual in the box, isn't it? So I threw away the manual, then I come to sign an MOU with you how to use my phone. Does it make sense? So these guys are joking with us. Seriously joking with us.
Let's take a break. Let's take a break. Do you have a caller already? Okay, let's take a break. And we come back. All right, let's take a caller before we take a break. Kenyans are just, all right. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning to you, my brother. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, my name is Douglas.
Sorry?
Douglas.
Yes, Douglas. What's your question or comment?
Yeah, I could say,
yes,
as per the discussion of this morning, the Mzee could not take that initiative. He could listen to the people first before he made an agreement with what he did.
Okay.
Yes.
Very well. Where are you coming from?
I come from Kisii County.
Thank you very much. Okay, so he said that you ought to have listened first before signing that agreement. Can we take a break? And then
we speak it from there.
Then we pick it from there. All right. The number to call is 0716 10 3301. Taking a break, we'll be right back shortly. Stay with us.
Ima na wendo mwingi tugikuthokia Embu County, the land of opportunities. Kambunene ya Ngemi FM mushi worata.
Twigagure na kamwetha ka maviu metu. Muroro kiande tukunye maire na murori tuthie thokori besa mivukori cha
manje makiyara uranje muri cietu cia thitima na ronje rwathagana nyamu cia kithaka igitugemeria bururi wetu wa mbere Embu County. Ngemi FM tikomono tukianirira na mugambo munene eno ni
Ngemi FM
musie wa urata.
Ino ni nyumba nene
kwa musie wa urata.
Ngemi FM 103.5.
Friday night again.
Greetings in the name of the Most High, Jah Rastafari. My good name is Marley Moses, the positive warrior, alongside...
Yes, sir, DJ D-Rage, the baddest. Each and every Wednesday from 10 p.m. on KBC Channel 1 TV.
Tunakuletea the biggest reggae party in 254 in a yard extra. Extra niceness of reggae music.
Extra dose of entertainment.
When the thing is nice,
we have to do it twice.
All right, welcome back. All of us have their cups of tea. Yeah. Yes, it's been cold in Nairobi.
Why has not branded at KBC? I mean,
we are neutral. if you know what I mean.
That I mean you are Solomonic. Solomonic means non-aligned.
Exactly. We are here. Mheshimiwa, there's that caller who called from Kisii, and I think this one you can respond to this, that you ought, or okay, both ODM and UDA ought to have listened to Kenyans first before signing that agreement. How true is this statement, or false is this statement?
One, before Raila signed that document on behalf of the party, he did not sign as Raila Odinga himself, but he signed on behalf of the party. And you could see that the person who read the memorandum was the Secretary General of our political party. Now, before that, it was preceded by consultative movements of our party leaders in various parts of the country.
Right.
In fact, when he came to Nairobi, he explained to us that they were to sign this memorandum sometimes, but he could not sign until he consulted with his people. And quoting from him, he said he was doing a random sampling, which he said. So he briefed us that he was in Kisumu, he was in Siaya. He was going to his political bases. He was in Busia, he was in Mandera, Wajir, Northeastern, he was in Kwale, he was in Kilifi, he was in Mombasa, and he did random sampling.
But was he aware of the details, the 10-point agenda during the consultative sampling program or tour? Was it part of the agenda being discussed when he was touring the regions?
Of course, he had to seek authority from the party delegates. The people he was meeting are party delegates in various places, and got their thoughts about the intended memorandum. And when he was given the green light by these people, because after discussions with the delegates and asking them whether he could go ahead and have a memorandum of understanding.
Yes.
After getting those approvals is when now he went through the party organ, through the Central Management Committee of our political party, to agree and sign this memorandum. The memorandum was, our Central Management Committee was privy to the details of the memorandum. And no political party is run through different organs.
But these were not discussed during the tours and the consultative forums?
You know, he was giving hints of areas of cooperations.
Okay.
Yeah, where they need to cooperate and why they need to cooperate. And one of the things that he seriously emphasized is that Kenya is bigger than all of us, and we need to move Kenya ahead and make sure that the environment where Kenyans live, we must improve the living environment for all Kenyans. And I think we believe in a democracy, and that is why every 5 years we have to go and elect people whom we think can lead this country. In fact, where I sit, I always question my mind why Kenyans forget very fast. Raila Amolo Odinga has presented himself as a presidential candidate with his visions and what he wants and his policies. And just as my friend was trying to look at what a social democrat is, is about offering free health services or free education. Those are some of the policies that we talk about. Because Kenyans never gave us that platform and opportunity, and they gave somebody else, we cannot be made accountable for omission and commissions of what we did not make. We must make.
I want you to sip your coffee as we take a call from Omondi.
Thank you, thank you.
Good morning, Omondi.
Good morning, KBC Channel 1.
Karibu sana. What's your question or comment?
Mimi niruhusu niongee kwa Kiswahili tafadhali.
Sorry?
Niruhusu niongee kwa Kiswahili.
Yes, go ahead. Karibu.
Sisi kama Wakenya tumechoka na huyu Raila, kila siku kurudia kitu, arudie kutoka kwa Moi, akuje kwa Kibaki, akuje kwa Uhuru, akuje tena kwa Uhuru, afanye kitu kimoja. Sisi Wakenya, unajua hao wabunge wenye wako huko bunge, hao wako pamoja, yaani wanaongea kwa pamoja, wajui huku nje sisi chenye tunapitia na chenye yale mambo. Yaani huwezi kuja kuambia, huwezi kuja kukutana na mwizi kwa kona akikimbia, watu nyuma yake kama 30 meters nyuma yake watu wanapiga nduru, wanasema mwizi, alafu mwambie kuja nikusaidie kubeba hii dunia, umebeba pesa nikufiche. Huyo mwizi unafaa umshike, upigie watu nduru, mwambie huyu watu mwizi ndio nimeshika. Raila Kenya amefanya, najaribu kumaanisha hivi, Raila Kenya amefanya, amepata sisi tumesukuma huyu mtu kwa kora kabisa atoke aende, na yeye anakuja kumsaidia.
Mondi amepatika. All right, thank you, Mondi. But we get your point. Mheshimiwa, you can respond to that?
Yeah, of course, as I was talking, one of the things that Kenyans must never be tempted to believe is that every single mistake in this country, they would want to point a finger at Raila. Raila is not Kenya. Kenya is bigger than all of us, and everybody has a right to make decisions. Raila is a single person that has struggled for this country. Even that freedom of speech that Omondi has now, during the single party democracy, some of you would not talk like that. But he has created an environment where everybody else in this country can express their mind. He has created freedom. He has fought for it, because some people do not know how this freedom came. Raila has fought for this freedom. And they are saying they have pushed somebody to the corner. Why did they first of all vote for that person? Raila presented himself as a person. Before this, we as a political party, we pushed this government through our demonstrations to bring down some of the ills and economic ills that is happening. And the Kenyans are not now seeing what we were doing. The same things that they are talking about now are the same things that we were talking about. But because this country is bigger than all of us, we must ensure that we have stability. In fact, what he was trying to tell us during the delegates conference, he cited some of those countries that removed their presidents, but without a clear administrative structure, like Egypt, when their president was up to today, they have not recovered. But as a country now, we must respect. My friend has talked about the tools that we use, like the Constitution. We respect our Constitution, that every 5 years we must allow Kenyans to go for elections. And I would want to respond that these tools that we use are very progressive tools.
Allow another caller, David, then I'll come to you, Prof. Kenyans are calling. All right, David, good morning.
Yes, habari yako bwana.
Salama ndugu, how is Gilgil doing?
Niko salama.
Sawa, what is your question ama comment?
Mimi nataka kuchangia niseme aje.
Go ahead.
Hii Kenya sio Raila na sio ya Ruto. Hii Kenya ni ya Mwenyezi Mungu. Huyu mzee Raila ametuzoea sana. Kila mwaka anakuwa, kila uchaguzi anakuwa ni mtu wa kujirudia venye mwenzangu amesema hapo mbele. Kwa hivyo Raila ni mtu wa kujitafutia tumbo yake mwenyewe. Nataka kuambia Wakenya aje. Tuwe macho na tusidanganye, kwa sababu saa hii Kenya kinaendelea ni watu kujisanya, alafu baadaye watuletee zile hela zetu tu ambazo tumewachangia.
Asante. Thank you. Hii Kenya ni wa Kenya wote. That is a very profound statement. Prof.
So first of all, I want to say the following, that because I don't want to go and answer small things in details. First of all, let me say that we should stop blaming Raila Odinga and also stop saying Raila Odinga has betrayed us.
Yeah.
I have analyzed clearly and understood what are the priorities of an 80-year-old. If you look at my brother Douglas from Kisii, Omondi, and even David, maybe you are 30 years old, me I'm 40 years old. The priorities of a 40-year-old are not the same as the one of an 80-year-old. At 80-year-old, you don't want to go to war, isn't it? You want more peace. Maybe you're concerned about your personal health, isn't it? You're concerned about relationship. So whatever Raila is concerned about are not our priorities.
Yes.
For us, some of these young people want a job now, isn't it? That is not Raila Odinga's priorities, isn't it? So let us just leave him alone and let him take his own direction. And I want to invite young people like Douglas, Omondi, and even David to join J25, June 25th, which was born on the street. The aspirations we had when we were on the street June 25th, I was there myself with the other young people. We talked about integrity, isn't it? We talked about accountability. We talked about economic revival, like the issue of creating jobs for young people. Those are not the priorities of these people. Because you don't need to have a broad-based government, take Raila Odinga's establishment, at William Ruto's establishment, put them inside government, and have a mongrel of a government which will be too costly to run, taking away money from taxpayers. That cannot be the formula. You know what's happened, Victor? If you are broke now, and you have one wife, isn't it? And people are telling you, your kids are shouting, we are hungry, isn't it? The strategy cannot be to marry a second wife. That is not the strategy.
Maybe that wife is going to bring more wealth.
Maybe. But you see, if Raila Odinga and ODM were bringing, let's say, 2 billion or 2 trillion budget to the economy, I would understand they're going to bring wealth, isn't it? But they're coming to suck from the economy. Like that, you're telling about budget. That KCC signing, do you think no money was spent? Or was it the budget? So what I'm trying to say in short, don't cut me because this will have talked for long.
Another caller, you'll pick it on that, if you don't mind. Okay. Another caller. This gentleman called Bush from Bunge la Wananchi, Makadara. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
What is your question or comment, briefly?
My comment is, if Mheshimiwa rightfully stated
yes,
that the Honorable Raila presented himself more than 4 times and has been denied an opportunity by Kenyans. Now, why is he sneaking into the government again through an illegal MOU? Yet he has presented himself with his vision at a very high cost to Kenyans, and he has been rejected 4 times. Now he's sneaking again through an illegal MOU, and he has had the habit of sneaking for 4 times, for at least 4 times.
Thank you. That question, Mheshimiwa, you'll answer that.
Yes, actually, I think I'm better off to answer that question because I'll be very direct.
Well, you can also answer that. Okay, go ahead.
Let me tell you what, Raila's priorities are not ours. And if you look at numbers don't lie. In 2007, the voter turnout in Raila's staff, like Luo Nyanza, was 95%. Something 98%, isn't it?
And you know you won that election.
Yes, so you won the election. So saying that Kenyans have never elected you, if you say that, then you are also lying to us because you said you lost the election, you won the election, only that was stolen from you.
Yes,
so blaming Kenyans for not electing you is not being correct because me sitting here voted for you. So I'm giving numbers. Just allow me to answer the question. When you come now to 2013, the turnout was now 75 from Raila's stronghold. Now, in 2022, let me go quickly, they were now 65% turnout, isn't it? What does that tell you? That when people had full faith in you and gave you the mandate to rule the country, the decision you made afterwards were not decisions which were for them. You understand? By calling for handshake, isn't it? Yet they gave you a mandate to become opposition, oversight the government consistently until the next election, maybe your vote could go up. Now, with the 2017 having a handshake with Uhuru Kenyatta, it made his supporters lose faith that he cannot stand to what he stands for. Now, with 2022 having gotten 65%, and then he has a handshake again, now realize that in Kisii, they chased him away, isn't it? Now, I'm asking all Kenyans, anywhere he goes, please tell him exactly what you feel. How you express that, that's totally up to you. Because according to me, Victor, when we were on KBC set in Bomas during the election, there was a question who was asked by a television anchor from KBC. That was O'Brien Kimani. Everybody claimed Raila Odinga is the fifth, Ruto is the fifth. So the question was, who is fifthing? Isn't it? Today, I told people on that set, both Ruto and Raila will fifth, isn't it? Ruto is fifthing as the fifth president, isn't it? Raila is fifthing as the fifth handshake president. And when people are saying Raila Odinga is not the president, let me tell you, from all the analysis I have, when you saw when William Ruto was waiting for Raila Odinga in State House, Mombasa, William Ruto was seated waiting for Raila to arrive. In power, the person who has more power is the one who is waited for.
No.
Raila Odinga. So no, please allow me. Allow me.
That Solomonic economy?
Please listen. just don't rubbish. Just let me finish.
Who is the current tenant?
So Raila Odinga asked himself.
You didn't expect Raila Odinga to be in State House.
No, I mean
in Mombasa. And
there is a way it's done. I can tell you in diplomacy, somebody could usher him in a holding room, and he arrives as the head of state. There's a way to do it. I know diplomacy very well. So let me tell you what, according to Raila Odinga, why should he fight to become president if he's the president? Because I heard people saying Raila came from Addis Ababa.
Is he president?
He's a president.
I think that is a misconception.
No, listen. There's de facto and de jure. Please allow...
He's a member of parliament.
Yes.
Allied to ODM. Is he president?
No.
Allow me to explain my point. When Raila Odinga arrived from Addis Ababa, people said he had two alternatives, isn't it? Actually three. One, come and join opposition, isn't it? And put pressure so that we can change the government now, isn't it?
Right.
The second option was join the government, work with the government, isn't it? The third one was retire, isn't it? He chose which one? Join the government. What was the logic? Already he's a president. What Raila wants he gets. He will define the diary of this country from now until this term.
So the question is...
being president means that, in fact, this signing of this thing...
Let's
So what I'm trying to say is that he has different priorities. He's chosen to execute them the way it suits him. Let Kenyans not talk too much about it. Let them also create their own legacy.
Great.
Because, Victor, you and I will be asked, what were you doing when these things happen? Even us will be asked that question.
Okay. Francis Wamalwa kutoka Kwale. Francis, good morning.
Hello.
Habari asubuhi kaka.
Nzuri sana ndugu.
What's your question and how is Kwale doing?
Kwale ni mzuri, tafadhali niruhusu niongee kwa Kiswahili.
Go ahead. Dakika moja tu. Endelea.
Nami nataka kuchangia kwa sababu
yes.
Huyu mwenzetu mwenye alikuwa anaongea anasema ati Raila ni mzee amefanya anafikia hapo. Mimi siungi mkono kwa sababu Raila tangu zamani akianza wakati handshake, wakati ya Moi, wakati ya Kibaki, alikuwa bado si mzee. Hii ni kitu hatupendi sisi wa Kenya kwa sababu yeye wakati anaona mambo yanaenda vizuri kwenda kusaidia mwananchi wa kawaida, anaenda pale anazuia achukue yeye mwenyewe. Yeye hatupendi sisi kabisa. Ukiangalia kama wakati wa Kibaki, wakati wa 2007, wakati alikuwa ameshinda uchaguzi na akawa na bunge wengi. Yeye alienda akapatia Kibaki. Wakati wa Uhuru hivyo hivyo. Wakati wa Ruto ni hivyo hivyo. Sasa mimi naona Raila hatupendi sisi, yeye anafanya maisha yakuwe magumu kwa sababu sasa kama alikuwa anaenda kusaidia Ruto ili sisi tufinywe, ni kumaanisha anapenda vile tunafinywa, hapendi vile sisi tunaweza kufaidika.
Asante. Kuna jesha huko Kwale? Amanda.
You know, I'm
he
wondering,
says that Raila doesn't love Kenyans.
I'm wondering whether these callers, those who are calling you, they are just skewed, or you are vetting the callers. You know, maybe this station is vetting the callers.
That is a general number.
Because now they have seen I represent the bedroom of Baba. Now you want to skew these callers. What we are saying is this.
Right.
In theory, like, he will tell you that people who just speak about an individual, those you cannot keep discussing individual. I almost talked about, I used a word, but the viewers might think I'm saying that we can never keep discussing individuals. Let us discuss policies and things that can help this country. And when a caller say, we as Kenyans, say me, I, because he is not representing any Kenyan in his voice. He's expressing his personal opinion. And in politics, these opinions are expressed in terms of voting. So if you have a strong opinion against Baba, you know Baba is only one in this country. If you have a strong opinion against Baba, express it during voting. But you cannot keep expressing it after casting a vote to somebody else, then you come and blame Baba. You have been given opportunity to elect your president. What the hell do you have that everything that happens in this country, somebody would want to blame Baba? For what reason? All of us as Kenyans have been given opportunity to choose the right leaders. Mimi, I was elected by Kibra people. I want to seek re-election. And I want to ask them to look at my performance, both in the legislation, oversight, and representation. They use those parameters to judge my performance.
Right.
Not just talking about individual. So we must also use parameters, and there are many parameters in the political field to judge a particular person.
So after the MOU, what next? Because there are 10 points, and when you hear Kenyans talking, it says something. So after the MOU, what next? Of course, yesterday you are in a serious tour. Did you see that crowd in Eastleigh?
So in political terms, how do you express your feeling about that crowd? So, you know, in politics, it is when you see people like me here, when I just see a crowd, I feel that I'm touched with the Holy Spirit. Because politics is about numbers. So they resurrect your sleeping mind and you start thinking properly. So those numbers define moments, and there are moments in politics. Those moments define the future of a country. And we are saying that why we were there is because we are the Nairobi MPs. And those are simply development tours, just to see what happens. I don't forge for really for the Kenya Kwanza government. But what we are saying is that let us Kenyans, because that MOU was just signed last week, as Kenyans, let us see where it is going to take us. Because we cannot start talking and we have not, our judgment is too soon.
Okay.
So let us see how it is going to affect the lives of Kenyans. Then from there, we can have data analysis from where the memorandum was signed and
another caller.
Yes.
Another caller.
Please,
Moses, good morning.
Don't select the calls.
Good morning, sir.
Karibu sana to the program. What's your question or comment?
I want to make a comment and contribute to what you are discussing today.
Very quickly, yes.
Yes. I want to tell our friends who are there that we people from Kisii are really disappointed.
Go ahead. Moses.
He has made his statement.
That statement with finality.
Yeah, so let me respond a little bit to this one. So first of all, I'm so disappointed when Mheshimiwa says, when you see a crowd of people on a working day like Monday coming to listen to politics, it does not only, there's a way to look at it. You may think they are supporting your policy, but their joblessness, it expresses a desperate economy. How would people who are at work come on Monday to involve themselves in a political activity to that number. So let us not just look at it from, for example, how it helps me. But those families, what are they going on? I'm trying to tell Kenyans, avoid these so many meetings because we call them in economics time spent on poverty. You sit there for 8 hours listening to speeches, then when you go home, there's no work at home. SHA is not working, isn't it? Education is not working.
Yes.
No matter how much money you get from it, it doesn't matter. And then I also know very well, MPs are also receiving money to attend some of these meetings. Sometimes as little as 50K or 100K. So that crowd for me does not make sense. Then let me talk about the issue of expressing ourselves. 2027, wait and see what will happen. It will shock you. We are going to express ourselves very differently. Because I was on set here, you can remember Victor, talking about Azimio and their policies, isn't it? I won't do that in 2027.
Very good.
I will be speaking on the opposite angle.
Because we are running out of time and you're a great gentleman. The question is, after the MOU, let me ask you the question. Well, you're not part of it, but what next?
What next is, I told you already, they're going to be given money to traverse the country that they're selling the policy.
You can't.
Then there should be a referendum which it will be rejected.
You cannot authenticate that.
No,
you know.
it's already, it's happening. I'm telling you, these people want something to do, isn't it? Raila has to be kept busy. So there'll be money. BBI was the case. He will move from everywhere, consulting, traversing the country, now discussing about the 10-point agenda. But you know what? To implement that thing, you need a referendum. It will be rejected in court. It will be rejected by people, but they will have spent our money around 33 billion shillings, and they are not shameless about it, because they will have spent that money.
I think my...
I've given you my
view. He talked about BPS.
With all due respect...
He talked about BPS. Is that 33 billion shillings?
It doesn't have to be there.
With all due respect...
Go ahead,
Control of budget is saying everything. They are budgeting for what is not a priority, non-priority budgeting. They say, something economy called fast charge. When you see your salary, there are some things you spend money on fast.
Thank you, Prof. Go ahead.
With all due respect, you know, these scholars, when they speak sometimes, they speak with a lot of finality. But today I want to challenge his finality because he's projecting what will... He is a seer. And maybe that is why his book is Solomonic. He's projecting what will happen, yet it has not happened. But I want to categorically say here that as an ODM member party, that this government must make things work.
Can I pick another caller?
One.
So that you have two calls at the same time to respond.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, Mheshimiwa. Omanga from Kisii. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Question or comment, Mheshimiwa is listening.
Ningetaka ucomment kulingana na hii discussion iko kwa TV saa hii.
Yes.
Na ningependa niongee na Kiswahili.
Endelea.
Sana sana huyu member of parliament from Kibera.
Yes, endelea.
Sana sana nilikuwa naongea hawa wanaongea katika TV saa hii, more especially member of parliament from Kibera. Sisi wa Kisii tumekasirika sana na hii matumbo yao, wacha wakule kabisa.
Kwa nini umekasirika, Omanga? Omanga, okay. Mheshimiwa, you have your time to respond. You respond to Moses and now Omanga. Go ahead.
Me, what I'm saying is that when we come to these public televisions, we need to come and discuss the policies at what help our country. We must look at how this SHA must work for Kenyans. I think that should preoccupy our thinking, that if they have to change from NHIF to SHA, then the Kenyans must get the best out of it.
Yeah.
I think that is what the agenda that we should be talking about the people. We should be talking about unemployment of our youths and how can we help our youths to get employment. So as a Kenyan people, those are some of the priorities that we should be discussing and offering solutions. Like my colleague professor here, he should come with the solution that these unemployed youths, what should we do as a Kenyan? You do not need to be a member of parliament to change the lives of the people of Kenya. In your own capacity, like now what you are doing today, you are changing the perception of Kenya by calling two of us here to give our opinion.
Right.
You would not wait. You will not wait to be a member of parliament to do what you are doing. As a professor, he needs not to be a member of parliament. He needs to use his position. But now I understand he has an organization. Is it J25? Maybe this is also a good platform that he must use to make Kenyans know really what they lack and how it can be sorted out. So I'm waiting. In fact, I will ask him for his book to go and read. The next time when I come here,
he'll buy.
I will. Of course, I can buy. The next time I come here, I will talk about his policies, and if they can be used to help the current situation of our country, why not? We need to offer solutions to this country. We need to come here and offer solutions, like my friend. So even as we need to see that this SHA is working, we need to see that we have employment. We need to see that our universities are not suffering. We need to see our education system flawless.
Okay.
So we are not saying that we are going to sit and see things.
So let me ask you this question, Mheshimiwa.
Yes.
You're a member of ODM, and I believe that in your meetings, anytime you sit to consult as members of parliament, there is that magic stick that you have. When you're talking about solution, what are we likely to see? Some of the changes we're likely to see after this MOU that has been signed. Because the 10 points talk about, the abductions, inclusivity, etc., etc. But deep down, what are we likely to see at the end? What's the end game?
One of the things that you have pronounced well is about inclusivity.
Right.
This country belongs to all of us. That we must share equitably the resources of this country. That all parts of this country, whether it is Northeast, that we must share.
You have a professor calling, called Professor Vitalis from Kwale again. Professor, good morning.
These
morning to you.
are dangerous.
Professor, what is your question or comment? And probably, as I ask you this question, what do you think should be, next? Go ahead.
Wacha niongee kwa Kiswahili.
Right.
Chenye inatakikana tufanye sahihi ambayo inastahili kuja next. Kitu ya kwanza tuangalie Kenya yetu iko vipi sahihi, kiuchumi, kisiasa, kihealth. Mimi nitasema hivi, kuliko kuongea mambo mengi sana, tusaidie wenye wako kwa uongozi sahihi, tupeana hawa maarifa ya kulinda wana Kenya na kupea wana Kenya vile tunaweza kuwa. Kumbuka kila party iko na sasa yake ya siasa. Pengine tunaweza sema hii yenye inaelekea sahihi sio nzuri. Kwangu mimi naona ni nzuri. Watu wengi sana wamebelea SHA na mimi nimeshatumia SHA. Kitambo kama ulikuwa uko na NIF, ungeweza kuaccess any of the funds. Lakini sahihi mali popote kwa mgonjwa aenda kwa hiyo hospitali. Ukiangalia sahihi vile uchumi ya Kenya iko, kwangu mimi naona inapanda. Inakuwa vizuri. Kitambo tulikuwa tunanunua unga shilingi 200, mafuta ilikuwa shilingi 200, sasa hizo vitu zote zimerudi chini. Sasa the next thing ambayo mimi naomba sisi Wakenya tufanye, tuangalie vile tunaweza pata kazi hapa Kenya, na kazi iko. Ukiangalia sasa hii port inajengwa pale, ukiangalia port imejengwa pale, ukienda pale ya Mombasa huko kuna port ambayo imejengwa upya, barabara inajengwa. To concentrate kwa hizi development tujenge Kenya kuliko siasa mbaya. Siasa mbaya, maisha mbaya. Tayari wakae chini kuwa na cheti chako ili ufanikiwe kuliko kusema fulani ni mbaya, fulani ni mbaya. Uliza kazi kama inalingana na hiyo cheti chako ya masomo, ni kuna hakika utapata kazi. Sasa wakati wa sasa hii mambo ya siasa imeisha. Jenge Kenya. Asante.
Asante sana, Professor.
I think just to pick from there, I think
go ahead.
At least now you did not select the
that was random sampling.
That was random sampling, and he has expressed his opinion.
Yes,
that instead of talking about just politics, and before you touch the name of Raila, then you have not talked politics. I think as a country, we need to look at how we can sort out some of these problems.
Yes.
I am in education committee. When I sit there, that every time I must talk about how can we employ the teachers. I must talk about why do we still lack teachers in the SS. I always talk about how can we sort out the problems of the universities. How can we sort out the pending bills of the universities and make them run? Yeah. You can go to the Hansard and see what I always talk about. Yeah. So, as members of parliament, we need to have corrective measures. We need to take our country a step higher. We cannot keep talking about things which have no inclination in terms of our social and economic status for nothing. We need to talk about things that will help this country. We must look at how can we employ our youths. We have about 100,000 teachers who have not been employed now. What can we do? Can we put a budgetary allocation for these teachers to be employed? Like now, we vote for teachers to be employed and put them in a budget, BPS. So I think these are some of the solutions as a country we require to make our country move forward. So I think my colleague, Professor, because of your good mind that I know you have, you use it progressively and help us have solutions that can help or alleviate poverty in this country. And I think that is my sentiment, that we need to sit and work together as a country and see how can we help this country to move to another level in terms of our economic status.
And, part of the agreement talks about employment.
Yes.
Tackling employment, part of the 10-point agenda.
Yes.
Okay. I'll get back to that shortly.
Victor,
yes,
allow
Prof.
me to say that what better way to do by putting in a book? You know, you can say I'm not contributing. I've written a book.
That's why I want to have this book when I live here.
Secondly, I was on set since 2021 telling people that bottom-up economic model will drive this economy into trouble, isn't it? What did they do? They called Strathmore to get me fired as a professor from there. That is a fact. Go and check. The son-in-law to the president took over my position in Strathmore. This is a fact because this cannot be lied. Go to Strathmore, go and check. So when I contribute, go and Google. I've written Solomonic model, how to do budgeting according to Solomonic economics there. I have a lot of literature out there, but you are the one who does not read them. Maybe you are concerned about reading about, for example, what Sakaja is doing in the Mapishi. What I'm trying to say, no one should question, because remember, this is my 4th book. I've written a book on strategy, corporate. I've written a book on economics.
Can I pick another caller? Huh? Can I pick another caller kindly?
Yes.
Kindly. Mwaura kutoka Ngong. Mwaura, good morning.
Good morning, Sister. How are you?
Karibu sana to the program. After the MOU, what do you think should be the next course of action?
The next year, tunatarajia kwa sasa tumeungana. Ile muungano unaye zaidi, tunatarajia tupate mambo mazuri kwa sababu zaidi kitu tunatia kuwe mbele zaidi ni kitu kama kazi vijana wetu wapate kazi. Hizo ndio vitu tunatarajia, kwa sababu ingawaje viongozi wakienda pale wanaendaga kujifaidi hao wenyewe, lakini sasa naomba tu wakuwe na ile roho ya vijana wetu wapate kazi, shazi pale kazi, sababu hatutaki maneno mengi, kwa sababu sasa kila wakati tunakuanga after election lazima kuwe na maneno. Sasa ile kitu tunatarajia ni kazi ifanyike kwa mwananchi wa chini, tuache kuonyeshwa kwa vitendo, kwa sababu baba amekuwa pale akitetea wananchi. Sasa yeye amejiunga na serikali. So tunatarajia hakuna serikali ifanye kazi. Ngapi serikali inafanya kazi, mimi sisi tunasaidia zaidi. Lakini naomba tuone mkataba kufanya kazi. Hatutaki, kwa sababu kila siku kila ndio nchi yenye siasa zikiisha tunaanza na zingine. Na ndio sasa hiyo kitu tuonyeshe vitendo na kazi. Kwa kufanyika sisi hatuna shida.
Thank you. Asante sana. All right.
So what I'm trying to say is, first of all, let me advise, I'm very happy you're sitting in the budget committee.
Not budget.
Education committee. Education is in trouble in Kenya. Ask any stakeholder in education, they'll tell you we are not moving in the right direction. So what I would ask here, please support the pending bills that are really bringing down the education. The capitation, let them be on time. This will help. How people budget in education is not really gearing up to what happens. I can tell you, education is when I was Kibaki's economic advisor. When we are able to ensure we bring our education in the right order, we'll thrive. Because I can tell you, we have around 12,500,000 households in Kenya. Every household has an average of 3.4 child going to secondary and primary school per household. Every household spends around 68,000 shillings per child per household, on average, I'm saying so. Which means every household spends 233,000 shillings per household. If you multiply that one by 12.5 million population households, you are getting 2.84 trillion in household expenditure and education. If you offer free primary education and free secondary education, that 2.8 trillion is a stimulus to the economy, because the person, instead of spending money on school fees, will buy a shoe, or will buy a dress, will buy a phone. The economy will work. But you guys, everything is all for the elected members and nothing for the citizens. And the more money you are spending on yourself, even if you're saying representing people, you're not representing them in terms of how much money goes to them. The money comes to you. You are the first charge. Whenever money comes, as soon as tax collected, the first expenditure is to them. The last expenditure, wananchi have to wait. Like pending bill, they say they are still doing auditing. The people who supplied their services last year are still waiting for auditing to take place. So I'm urging you, please ensure that you pay these pending bills to Uzima University. Not just Uzima, but Mount Kenya and
let's
others.
come back to the discussion.
Just let us work on those things. And I'm wondering why the 10-point agenda does not have these issues there if actually he is concerned about education.
All right, thank you. Elijah from Kajiado is also on the line. Elijah, good morning.
Good morning too.
Question or comment, what do you think should be the next course of action after the MOU? Go ahead.
Allow me to speak in Swahili, yeah?
Yes, go ahead.
Because I'm not good in frequent
Endelea.
Okay, langu la kwanza kabisa,
yes,
ni vyema kuwapongeza na kuwashukuru viongozi wetu.
Asante
kwa kupatana. Kuwashukuru kuna kuwapongeza viongozi wetu, Mheshimiwa Rais na Mheshimiwa Raila, kwa kuungana kwa kuleta jambo ya MOU. Langu la kwanza kuchangia ni kwamba yale wameazungumzia pale, at least tuone wakitimiza, kwa sababu wakifanikisha ni faida kwa Wanakenya. Jambo la kwanza kwangu kuangazia ni kwamba wameangazia kuhusu ajira ya wanarika. Hiyo ni kitu rahisi tu kabisa. Hilo tuone kama ile jambo rahisi kabisa wataweza wapatie vijana wetu kazi, sababu ukiangalia kama mabarabara imejawa na manyazi, vichaka ni mingi. Tuanzie na hiyo ya vijana, alafu tuone kama next move anaweza. Hivyo tu.
I got it right. Thank you so much, Elijah. So you've heard it. The first question, which is part of the 10-point agenda, is youth unemployment should be tackled. How do you handle that, Mheshimiwa?
I think
now that is a concern.
I have vividly expressed my desire that the government must tackle the youth employment agenda. One of the things that they have been trying to do is about to export labor outside this country. But I think it has not succeeded because we have had some youths that have been trained. He was saying they were training at Uzima University.
Yes, to go to abroad, yes.
To go abroad, and Mount Kenya University. But I am also made aware that every time we have a new CS, they keep changing these agents who train these people going outside the country. I think there is serious conflict of interest, even in this training, that each person wants to have their agents to train these people. It means that maybe these agents, there is a way that they work with them, and they keep changing goalposts. And that is why some of these people have not acquired and have not gotten employment outside this country, the labor market. The last time I heard the CS of labor saying that it will depend on a demand basis from those Arab countries. And when you talk about a demand basis, and we have already trained 50,000 or so Kenyans awaiting employment outside, you see, that kind of venture on uncertainties and keeping the youths waiting without being taken, you see, is another problem. So we must look at other ways to spur economic growth that can absorb the already youth bulge that we have in this country. So these are some of the nitty-gritties that we need to look at, like when we have professors of economics, they need to advise that how do we spur economy through small enterprises?
Right.
How do we have a local borrowing or international borrowing? How does it affect our economy? I think this is what we need to work out as a Kenyan, as Kenyans.
In 20 seconds, Mheshimiwa, now that we're winding up, in 20 seconds, what is that something that Kenya should take home after this MOU? Anything good out of it that we should be looking at the end of the race?
One, the most important is that we need to have the stability in this country. Stability creates or spurs a lot of things. If we need economic development, the first thing is about political stability in the country.
Okay.
Two, we need to stabilize this country by having free health care that has been promised. And you remember when we are at Naivasha talking to the Shah, the CEO of Shah, and we thought that he was not really conversant with what is happening in Shah. And we asked that the CEO, if need be, then we need to get people who understand what they are doing and put those in place. And again, we need to strengthen our education system.
Thank you.
Because the way it is going, we need to employ more teachers. We need to run the CBC, the JSS, and we need to manage our local universities and offer good management.
One last call as we wind up. Rono from Nandi. Rono, good morning.
How are you?
Salama, salama, Baba. What's your question or comment in 10 seconds?
Yes, I have a problem with the MOU because it was signed by the two people, not with the two parties.
Because those are the biggest and the largest political parties within this country.
Oh, yes.
And when they come together and sign, they, you know, the constitution of this country, the first constitution, is representation. You know, you can delegate representation.
Sovereign power.
Sovereign power can be delegated or can be used directly. So the people of Kenya, they have delegated this to their leaders of political parties. And that is why they go and sign on behalf of the political parties.
You know one good thing about you gentlemen, you're all teachers. And one thing is time.
Allow me just to say something.
Just because already time is up.
We have already explained how this economy can be turned around.
Yes.
We have talked on television since 2021, and that's why I'm inviting Kenyans that on 28th of this month, we are starting to convene our own leadership. J25 has got a coalition of around 4 parties now. We are concerned about now delivering, because you cannot delegate your vision to people. I have delegated my vision by writing a book, by explaining on television, but then I'm just being fought, isn't it? So we must tell these people, in 2027, we will elect one of us.
Thank you.
They will come in to advise us from the behind, but the head must be one of us. And that is what I'm trying to say. So J25 is about a movement born on the street on June 25th, and we didn't enter status, we entered parliament. Now we shall enter parliament through the ballot, and young people, get your IDs, get your voter's card, elect one of you, not one of them, because one of them will go and sign a circus in KICC, which does not represent you. Thank you,
Prof. You know what? I like it.
You know him, he's an economist, but now I'm a politician. I want to thank my people of Kibra for giving me a chance to come and represent them. Bedroom, to come and represent them and articulate their policies, what they want me to do for them, and ask them that they need their support so that I can continue with what we are doing for them.
Thank you.
Asante sana.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming. We've had more than we were supposed to be given because it was okay. To all Kenyans who called, we respect your opinion, we respect your stand, and you had great minds here to respond to them. There is no problem. We are a democratic country, right? And after this, they're going to take tea. They're not fighting, by the way.
No.
They're not fighting. So, thank you so much. My name is Victor Low. Let's do this again tomorrow. GMK takes a break. We'll be right back with this. Stay here.